This is the Red Sox POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Boston Red Sox, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, the Red Sox and Guardians split 2 in Cleveland on Saturday after being washed out in the opener on Friday. Red Sox had an early leading Game 1, could not pick up the victory. Tanner Houck, another frustrating outing. But in Game 2, the bats come alive. Buehler gives you a solid outing, and the Red Sox win the nightcap again, Garner in a split of the double dip. With that, we welcome you into our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, veteran play-by-play announcer, calling over 1,000 games in the minors, spending one glorious Saturday in the show, calling Padres-Dodgers on ESPN Radio's national radio broadcast. I was on Lobster Lake in Maine way back in 1986, August of 1986, when I found out on a Walkman that the Red Sox had traded for both Dave Henderson, Hendu, and Spike Owen in a deal before the trade deadline with the Seattle Mariners. We are providing reaction every Red Sox game on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed. The Locked On Red Sox POSTCAST podcast is available wherever you get your podcast. First time I've done that one, barely made it through. On this Locked On Red Sox postcast, we're going to talk about Tanner Houck from Game 1. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. We're going to talk about Walker Buehler and his start in Game 2. And how about the Red Sox bullpen? 3 solid innings, 3 scoreless innings from Wilson, Slayton, and Chapman. And Jarren Duran had a game in Game 2 of the doubleheader like we saw so often in 2024. Plus an anniversary of sorts as Duran does something that hasn't been done in 16 years to the day for the Red Sox as well. You want a hint? Stealing home. We do want to hear from you. Our everydayers and our first-timers, join the conversation. Watching live with us on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel, hit that comment button. Join the Red Sox conversation. You can also share your Red Sox thoughts, comments, concerns, anything you want if you follow me on the X, and throw some comments out there anytime you'd like, and we'll use them here on the Locked On Red Sox postcast as well. The Twitter handle on X. Yes, I'm on the X. At Lennox on Baseball. We do thank you for making the Locked On Red Sox postcast your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So Game 1 briefly. Red Sox jump out to an early 3-0 lead thanks to a 3-run home run from Wilyer Abreu. But Tanner Houck gives up 4 runs in the bottom half of the first inning. Red Sox actually tied the game at 4 on a Rafael Devers home run in the third inning. But then Houck done after 5, no decision. But giving up those 4 runs in the first inning, I just want to pull my hair out. Guardians got the go-ahead run in the 6th inning against Bernardino. Red Sox had an opportunity in the 9th inning. Rafael and Duran reaching, nobody out, 2 on. Tying run, go-ahead run on base. Devers, Bregman, Story going down 1, 2, 3, and that was that. Game 2, Red Sox take it. And Walker Buehler did a solid job. Trevor Story making the last out of Game 1, broken 0 for 17 at the plate as he came through the 2-out RBI single in the first inning. Buehler did a nice job. 1, 2, 3, first inning, and retiring the side on just 8 pitches total.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Ended up going 6 innings. But Jarren Duran in Game 2, really the story. Duran, 2-out RBI single in the second. Devers picked up an RBI to make it 3-0. He had a double, Devers scoring. And then Duran in the third inning. RBI triple, his 3rd triple of the season. That scored Carlos Narvaez. Red Sox up 5-0. Then Duran, with Rafael Devers at the plate, steals home. A straight steal of home. The first time it's been done since 2009 on April 26 when Jacoby Ellsbury did it against the Yankees. And Duran, if you look at the box score for Game 2, it's as close. I'll go back for the previous 28 games prior to Game 2 getting underway. But Jarren Duran, this was like his line score, his box score, 3 hits from last year. We saw it often. 3 hits, including 2 extra base hits. Or 1 extra base hit, pardon me, the triple. 3 hits, the triple, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and again, he steals home. I dare say and go out on the limb that right now we've talked about, well, Devers and Casas and get those guys going. I think Jarren Duran is right at the beginning of really getting going. And I think it carries perhaps in the series finale on Sunday, and into this next week, this upcoming week, which also turns the calendar from April to May. And I think with Duran getting going, you're going to get Devers more consistent, Story more consistent. Again, Story was an 0 for 17 slide before delivering in that first inning against the rookie who was making his big league debut, Doug Nikhazy. And the Red Sox took care of him. Will Middlebrook said it just as I was kind of coming down from downstairs to where I set up for the Locked On Red Sox postcast. And, he said it. Hey, look at some of the things that the Red Sox did in the game. They walked 6 times. They collected 11 base hits. But how about this number of the night in the nightcap of the doubleheader? Yes, we usually do numbers of the night, segment number 2, and we've got plenty more for you. The Red Sox struck out a total, and I'm building it up here, count on 3 fingers. They struck out 3 times in game 2. Again, against a rookie and a guy in Nikhazy making his big league debut. Nerves, yeah, but the Red Sox didn't chase. And they just went after it. But Jarren Duran, you've got to feel happy right now the way Duran came through in that nightcap. Big time. Because in game 1, took the collar, and that ended his hit streak at 11 in a row. So comes back in game 2. Long day at the ballpark, you get a split. Not easy to sweep a doubleheader, especially on the road. Red Sox swept 2 from the Cardinals in one day at Fenway earlier in the season after getting washed out. Second doubleheader of the season, and they garner a split against a Guardians team that has been playing winning baseball. We'll get into Walker Buehler in the bullpen coming up in segment number 2. Right now, let's get to some of your comments. Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. If you're there with us, thank you. Appreciate you spending part of your Saturday with us. And don't be afraid. Throw a comment up there. G's World, needed that one. Duran, baby. Yeah, I really do think they needed it. Because if you had dropped and lost both games, led 6-0, won 7-3. If you have dropped both, you would have dropped to a game under 500. And with the win in the nightcap, you snap a 3-game losing streak. I think there were a lot of good things. Again, another, Friday washed out. Saturday, still cold. Will Middlebrooks was talking about it on Nesson reference right there with Dave O'Brien of it's brutally cold here late in the game. It was in the 40s in Cleveland on the lake. G's World, can't wait to see the boys all 3 games up here in Toronto this week. There you go. I love it. Hope you're bringing your son. He better be going. All 3. That's outstanding. Yeah, Red Sox, off day on Monday in Toronto, and then 3 against the Blue Jays. And, hey, you want to take 2 out of 3 in Toronto because the Blue Jays took 3 out of 4 from you at Fenway in the first series of the season between the 2 clubs. Michael, is Bello on the mound tomorrow? Bello is scheduled to go in the finale. He is. So looking forward to that. And really, you have your bullpen set up again because you have the off day built in there on Monday. So Slayton, terrific, scoreless inning. Chapman, terrific, 1, 2, 3, ninth with a couple of strikeouts. Getting into the bullpen here before I wanted to. Sorry. But, yeah, if you can get another solid performance from Bello, make that 2 in a row since coming off the IL, then I think you're in good shape. Because the bullpen can be in good shape. Tomorrow's a day where you could have Whitlock for 2 innings. Bello, if you could get 6 out of him, I think that would be terrific. Whitlock, and then you go Slayton or Chapman. I think they could both go back-to-back. And, again, you have the luxury of that off day built in there on Monday as well. I sort of take rainouts right now early on in the season. You don't want to – they've played and the Red Sox aren't the only team. A lot of clubs have played in some miserable weather here in March and April, and we're almost out of April. But what it does is it really did kind of set you up in terms of you only had to go 8 innings on the mound in game 1 because the Guardians didn't have to hit in the bottom of the 9th inning. But you used 3 relievers, each with an inning each, really for the most part, not a lot of issues. Wilson did a nice job. You thought, with Slayton, but, walks the first batter on 4 pitches, fell behind. And Jose Ramirez, a dangerous hitter, but got him and got the next 2 batters. We'll just do the bullpen right here. But you're really set up now for the next couple of days. Even going into the Toronto series that G's World is going to be attending up in Toronto, you're kind of set up right now. Now, if Bello only goes 2 or 3 innings tomorrow, you don't want to see that. But you can be set up. If Bello can go 6, you get 3 innings out of the rest of the bullpen. Off day on Monday, everybody gets a day of rest, and then you go on Tuesday. So the Friday rainout, And it was rained out early enough where it's like, yeah, you get a night off, back to the hotel, out to dinner, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Geez World, always sitting one row behind our boys in the pen. Nice. At least 2/3 War Pig Day. There you go. And we shall see what Gio's got. Yeah, and you're going to get Lucas Giolito in that series. It's looking more and more like that. I don't know what to take away from Lucas Giolito's outing on Friday with AAA Worcester, I believe it was. He walked a bunch of guys, but he could have been working on some different things. It's almost like another spring training start. Down there on the rehab assignment, maybe he wasn't completely sharp. But overall, in terms of, the way, he's ready to go. He's built up. A lot of walks, but again, he could have been tinkering. He could have been, throwing all of his pitches in the outing. A milestone for the manager, Walker, solid. We got into the bullpen, but a milestone for the manager, part of Numbers of the Night, coming up next. And our Locked On Red Sox postcast, Red Sox splitting 2 in Cleveland against the Guardians. We are presented by Amazon Fire TV. Did you know that your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign in to Xbox Game Plus Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're going to be ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports College Football 2025, Call of Duty, Black Ops, easily. And you can easily and simply do that just as easy as you stream your favorite shows. And gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. With 4K streaming, watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscribe services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. And you can also, again, play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of a console. Already have your console? A Fire TV Stick 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take your device with you, along with your kids, wherever you go in and wherever you plug in. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass is the ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4000, second generation, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, first and second generation, and Fire TV Cube, third generation. Red Sox again picking up the victory. Some numbers of the night coming up. Smoke Dog 1982 checking in. Duran with the two most exciting plays in baseball back-to-back. Yeah, and Dave O'Brien's touched on that. He had the triple the other day down the right field line at Fenway. The triple is certainly one of my favorites, in baseball. But Duran does it back-to-back. And most guys would get to third base and be sucking wind and, trying to catch their breath. Duran instead says, you know what? I'm going to get back to the dugout, and steals home. Again, the 16th anniversary of Jacoby Ellsbury doing it in 2009 against the Yankees. So that was really neat to see. So one solid start and one frustrating start because, again, you're staked to a 3-0 lead, and Tanner Houck gives up 4 runs in the first inning. And I'm not going to take solace or pat him on the back for, going 5 innings in his outing. Give up 4 runs in the first inning. Go back 2 starts ago when he just was non-competitive with his pitches, that paraphrasing from pitching coach Andrew Bailey. Giving up a 4 spot in the first inning after you were staked to an early 3-0 lead. Frustrating. Walker Buehler on the other side in game 2. Solid. And I was thinking 83, 87 pitches through 6 innings, and it's like, I don't know that he goes back out there. And he didn't. Bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox could not turn 2. Campbell, bad throw. Had time, rushed his throw. Didn't come back to bite Buehler. Got out of it with nothing happening. And 87 pitches through 6. Remember last time out, he took them out for the 7th inning. I think he threw 9 pitches and had hit 100 pitches total for the game. So they back him off just a little bit. He gives them 6 innings. Gave up the 3 spot. All 3 runs scoring in the 4th inning. Gave up the 2-run home run to Jhonkensy Noel. One of the best names in baseball, and also Big Christmas is the nickname as well, so that's terrific. But overall, Buehler gave you exactly what you needed. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, walked just 1. I love that number. I love 0 walks even better, but 1 you'll take. And he struck out 3. And he's now given up, number of the night, 3 runs or less in 4 straight outings. And early on, he got the side 1, 2, 3 in the first on 3 ground ball outs. He ended up 6 ground ball outs, 4 of those in the first 2 innings, 6 ground ball outs in the 6 innings, and 8 fly ball outs. Justin Wilson again, 1, 2, 3, 7th inning, Bears repeating. Slayton, a scoreless 8th inning. Slayton, by the way, 1 bad outing so far in his resume for 2025. That's where he gave up 4 earned runs at Baltimore on March 31st. With a scoreless outing and scoreless inning on Saturday, he's now gone 8 straight outings without giving up a run, and he has 10 of his 11 appearances, he's not given up a single run. And then Chapman, 1, 2, 3, 9th inning. Struck out 2, but very few pitches. Chapman, you get a lead in the bottom of the 8th inning or the top of the 9th inning, and you sort of hold your breath sometimes for the closer, especially when, maybe things are going rough and you have that late rally and your closer comes in and blows it. That's tough. Chapman has been solid for the Red Sox. He really has been. If you just simply push everything negative about Chapman, he seems to be on the right path the last couple of years. Just tunnel vision, pitching, and still, Will Middlebrooks mentioned it on Nesson of, the guy was pumping in 103, free and easy. And he's not in his early or mid-20s anymore. So that was great to see from the bullpen. 3 scoreless innings in support of Walker Buehler. 1,000 and counting. 1,001 and counting for manager Alex Cora. With Game 1, Alex Cora becoming the 5th manager in Boston Red Sox franchise history to manage 1,000 or more games. And he's going to be number 4 real quick. Got a long way to go to catch both Terry Francona, who's number 2 all-time in games managed, and Joe Cronin, who's number 1 on that list as well. But a tip of the cap to the Sox manager, and I can say my former one-game-only broadcast partner, Alex Cora. Red Sox now, Game 3. Bello on the hill on Sunday. And you simply want one more inning out of Bello. Just Bello, build on what you did in your first outing. And could have been knocked out, but ends up going 5 in that outing and sort of going from there. So that's what you want. You want Bello to simply build on it. And the Red Sox are going to, on the next homestand, when they come back home after the series in Toronto, I do believe it's going to be we've seen enough. The track record is there. You could see some moves between AAA. Cooper Criswell was up. He's on the 40-man roster. He was activated, did not pitch, was a 27th man for the doubleheader. In terms of that. But I do think there's, if a couple guys don't start hitting a little bit more, I'm not talking Casas, but, David Hamilton to me, they may make a switch at some point in time. And then you've got Houck because Giolito comes back and Bello, you want 6 innings minimum. You want a quality start as often as you can get them. Geez World. Made my little man in Wally helmet just like the home run and looks pretty good. Fingers crossed they let it get into the stadium. Hey, absolutely. Hope they do. And fingers crossed, hope you can get on Nesson as well. That'd be terrific. And if you do get on Nesson, wave to the camera and say hello. Thanks, Geez World. Smoke Dog 1982, how killed them in that first game. He did. And the way Tanner Houck's track record has been from after the All-Star game last year through his outing so far this season, he's the exact opposite of Buehler. I don't care. Yes, the win-loss record to me is still important. And it's certainly important to big league pitchers. And that's all I care about. The stat people, win-loss record doesn't matter. It does. When a guy gets his first big league win or win number 100 or a milestone win, that means something. But the win-loss record when a starter takes the mound to start, Red Sox are now 5-1 in Buehler's 6 outings. Opposite for Tanner Houck, just 1 win so far in the season. That rough first inning, well, he rebounded nicely and gave you 5. No. And I thought to myself, in making that statement, I thought about it earlier. Well, if you'd given up 4 runs over 5 or 6 innings, would you be hard on him? Yeah, I think we would. Because you want to see 6 innings and 2 runs out of Tanner Houck more often than not. And I think it's also big in the fact that he gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning after he was staked to the early 3-0 lead as well. Daniel checking in. Only wish Duran learns how to bunt with that speed. Daniel, I can be out of here in under 22 minutes. We just hit the 20-minute mark. I could go for another 8 minutes on bunting. I'm with you. Doesn't have to be every game, but just drop a bunt. And he does, but it's not as often as we saw, Brett Butler comes to mind, Lenny Dykstra in the 1980s, leadoff hitters like that. I'd like to see him drop a bunt down every once in a while. You know what? Let's see him drop down. I'm going to say he's going to drop a bunt down in the next 8 days. By next Sunday, a week from tomorrow, he's going to drop a bunt down for a base hit. I don't know if it's going to be to lead off a game or in a big spot in a game, but with that speed, put the ball in the gaps and just let him run, right? And even just putting the ball in play, a chopper on the infield. Majority of the time, he's going to beat it out. Just put the ball in play. Daniel, unfortunately, I say that because I've designed I've come to the conclusion that the bunt isn't dead, but it's there. It's in surgery right now. Smoke Dog 1982. One more. Maybe he would be better out of the pen. Yeah, we talked about that. Maybe Tanner Houck would be better out of the pen. Because I don't think you would send him down just to keep him as a starter. I think the pen would be the next move. And I don't know if those conversations are taking place or not right now. G's World started us off. Is going to wrap us up. We are on Nesson over. We are on Nesson every game in Toronto, 2 years strong. Hey, keep the streak alive. What's on tap? Red Sox wrap up the series. Opportunity to win the rubber game in the 3-game set. You had that opportunity to close out the series against the Seattle Mariners earlier in the week. Did not happen. Yeah, you saw me cough right there, but I was able to mute it. With that loss earlier in the week against the Mariners in the final game of the 3-game series at Fenway, that snapped a 6-game win streak in the series finale. So hopefully get back on track. Win the finale with Bayo on the mound on Sunday and win the series, the first of the season, with the Guardians. Again, as always, we remind you that we're going to be on within minutes of the final out of Sunday's finale from Cleveland with the Red Sox, again, looking to take the rubber game of the 3-game set. Amazon TV, thank you very much for your sponsorship and your support. And as always, we thank you and tip our cap to you as well. Locked On Red Sox, number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Red Sox, every day.